Hey, it's Bitty Penny. Welcome to my channel. I hope you guys are doing well. Happy Memorial Day. We're going to have some fun. I'm grabbing just a few more things from my stash while everybody joins in. We are officially in summer hours, so in the summer I'm going live at 6 a.m. instead of 5:30. And I'm kind of wishing I had done this on StreamYard so I could do a poll. That's okay. That's all right. We're going to make it. Just looking for some things real quick. I came half prepared. Unfortunately, it happens sometimes. All right. It's not in there. Let's see. Happy Monday. It's summer. I'm so excited. Where, oh, where is this thing I want to use? Well, I might end up using this. Let's see. Something really specific I'm looking for. And it's one of those things I don't use very often. Let's see. Sorry, guys. I didn't think it would be this challenging. Let's see. Everybody just pop in and say hello. Huh. Starting to wonder if I moved it. Just me rifling through stamps over here. I must have moved it. All right. Well, I'll look for it again, but in a different place. All right, let me find my chat. What a way to start a live. Boy, I know how to keep you entertained, huh? Let's see. Well, guess what? I started cleaning my craft room yesterday. And for those who have been around long enough, look what I found. Oh my gosh. If you junk journal, you may have a stack of cardboard in your craft room, you know, for junk journal covers. It could happen. I found my long missing Anne of Green Gables ephemera. I had all this ephemera when I was making my Anne of Green Gables journals. I even made these little books, these little Red Riding Hood books, because, you know, Anne was an avid reader. And so I had made these little books that could go into the Anne of Green Gables journals. There's one that needed to be put together. There's Anne. There's the Lady of Shalott. I actually have that painting. It's at my mom, or I have the Lady of Shalott at my mom's house. But yeah, it's funny. I found my Anna Green Gables stuff, you guys. It had fallen down. There's Anne Shirley. and all the things. All sorts of mornings are interesting, don't you think? Don't you know what's going to you don't know what's going to happen through the day, and there's so much scope for imagination. Kindred spirits are not so scarce as I used to think. It's splendid to find out there are so many of them in the world, and so many of them in this chat. And then a couple of Anne of Green Gables covers and other lovelies. I found all this, so I'm going to have to make another Anne of Green Gables journal. Green Gables. Isn't that fun? Yep, found it all. It had fallen between the cracks of cardboard, and I recycled so much cardboard yesterday. Okay, well, Rhonda Wilson will remember this, and this is going to crack her up when she finds out that I found it. Okay, today, we're going to have some fun. We might make a card, but I'm pretty sure we're going to art journal. We're going to gel print some backgrounds. We're going to do some stamping and all kinds of things. So let me pull out, I think I'm going to use my passport journal. And instead of being a destination, this is going to be more like time travel, if you will. And I think this is where I'm going to do the art journaling, is in my Dina Wakley ledger journal. So we'll do a page for Memorial Day. And I kind of have an interesting concept if I can find all the elements. The first thing we're going to do is I did get out my gel plate, and I also, under my desk, found another one of my brayers. I was like, where did all my brayers go? Well, one fell off the desk. All right, let me say good morning to you all. Good morning, Jason Downs. Hello, Angie Downs. Hello, Lisa. Now, Lisa, I was really wanting to use some poppies today because you guys use poppies in the UK for remembrance. And I know my family, I didn't go, but my family went to the World War I museum. And one of the installations that my husband found to be so spectacular was actually, I think, all the poppies in the floor of the museum. It just apparently was really breathtaking and impactful. So I'm probably going to incorporate some poppies today. Can't stay long. You have to work teaching a basic folio class Saturday at our local craft shop. Oh, I love that, Lisa. That is awesome. Hey, April. On the balcony, cooking breakfast and listening. Are you cooking on like a Blackstone or something? All right, let's get this going. On Amazon, I found this, and I've used it already, but the star gel plates that y'all, or prints that I showed you guys from when I worked with Debbie, when Debbie and I did gel printing together when she came to my house. This is the kit I use. It's from Amazon, and I loved it because y'all know I love stars, and it has stars and stripes and the 1776 and so many different sizes. And I thought, with this being the 250th year, that it would be pretty cool to have this kit. Plus, look at the scale. You get so many different scales of these images. So I can do, you know, all different size stars, which for me was really appealing. So even though I won't use the 1776 too many times in my crafting, I'll use these different stars and the different sizes of stars a lot because I love having star stuff. Okay, so I'm going to use that. And then I really want to find the stamp set, and I don't know why it's been in the same place, you guys, forever, and I don't know why it's not there today when I need it. And it's one of a kind, never find it again kind of thing. It's definitely never been destashed because I would never with that one. Let's see. I really want to use it, so I'm going to look in a couple of places before I give up. There it is. Okay, found it. I really want to use some of these images of the Chiefs. So I want to incorporate those because I recently, like a month or so, maybe 2 ago, who knows about how long ago it's been. I can't tell you things like that. I watched the Sitting Bull documentary. It was so good. And, you know, the Navajo they used the Navajo, was it in World War II? For coding messages. And the Navajo language was a big part of the success of coding messages. So they've definitely played a part both fighting for the country they lived in and helping us fight for this country. So I'm going to take my hat off to them today. Put a few things away so I have some space to move this book up. I'm going to have to zoom you guys out just a little bit eventually, but I think for now we're good. Let's get some stars and stripes. All right, let's do some blue. Oh boy. I've not tackled my desk yet. That's one thing I haven't done. All right, I'm going to use the smallest stars. And I think I'll kind of build in. I'm going to roughly build up a flag here. Hello and hugs, Libby. How are ya? Good to see ya. Let's see. I've got lots of veterans in my family. 2 brothers. People who have passed. Let's see if I did this right. Okay, so if I put blue down, I don't know that I did this right. This is me testing. And then let's pull just this index card. Some of these stars up. Whoa, it's moving everywhere. Pull up that blue. Okay, got it. Let's lay down a wee bit of white. I know if my page is white, then I wouldn't necessarily need the white in there, but I am going to put some white in there because my page is not white. My page is brown. So that's, if your page was a different color, that would be the reason to lay down some white. Okay. And there's an annoying fly in here. Why, oh why is there a fly? I have no idea. Just to annoy me, I suppose. Put some more white. I need to like WD-40 my brayer. She's sounding rough. All right. So brayer this off. All right. And then we'll lift this. Okay. We're just kind of building some flag paper here. I'm going to put this on here. Fly! Get out of here! Nice. Let's see if there's any blue left. I think I've brayered most of it off. And now onto this side. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. I don't mind dirty stencils. I'm just going to leave it. And now I'm going to bring in some red and put in some stripes. And then we're going to gel print this onto, I think we'll just gel print it directly onto the art journal page. I'm tempted to make a couple of these in case I wanted it for a card. We'll see. All right. Fly, get away from me. Linda Gorman. Gloria, hello. All right. I probably should have let the white dry a little more. That's okay. We'll get the idea. All right. We do use poppies because they are seen where ground has been broken a lot. Oh, that's why, Lisa. Ah. I was wondering what the significance of the poppy was. Oh, we're not going to fit 13. That's okay. That's all right. We're just getting arty. We're not being all precise calculations and numbers and such. All right. Now I need to let this dry. Let me smooth out some of the paint so it'll dry quicker. Ooh, there's some wavy stripes. All right. Now, you cannot use heat on a gel plate. It's a no, 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 no. So you just have to let things dry. And all I'm doing is taking paint off instead of putting it down. That's okay. All right, so I'm going to set this to the side and I'm going to let it dry. Once it's dried, then I can come back on, lay down a layer of paint and lift it. This is going to be backwards. That's okay. They usually show the flag flying backwards, don't they? I don't know. It'll be fine. No matter what, it'll be fine. Let's let that dry for now. I have clean water today. I'm pretty excited about that. Hi, Paula Rice. Oh, that's drying. Well, I'm just tempted to make another. Let me see. I'm pretty sure I have another gel plate that size. I don't know where my 5x7 is right now. Oh, there they are. They were there. They were just on the side. This one. Let's see. I do believe that the stars that I just used is the smallest set of stars that I have from that stencil. All right. I will tell you, Speedball is not my favorite brand for a gel plate. I don't know that this is actually a Speedball. I think this one might be a Jelly Arts. The Speedball tore on me pretty badly, and I've never had a Jelly Arts tear on me. So that's why I say that. Okay, so let's do this. Let's put... I think I'm going to make my card vertically. All right. So do you guys have any special plans today? I'm meeting WJ from WJ's Crafting Corner and Aaron Reed today for lunch in Austin. And then I'm working. Those are I just work every day. Those are my special plans. We went and saw The Mandalorian last night. It was so entertaining. Really enjoyed it. All I have to do is say The Mandalorian and that music just gets stuck in my head. All right. A little more blue than we needed, but that's okay. I know what to do. I refilled my baby wipes. I'd been out of baby wipes in here. I refilled those yesterday. I got some cleaning done. I also got completely overwhelmed. I had to call Desiree and get her to talk me off the ledge. Oh my gosh, I kind of had a meltdown. Cleaning is not for me. I tell you what, if I ever won the lottery and got wealthy, the first thing I would do would be hire staff to clean my house. Even if I didn't get a bigger house or a new house, I just stayed in this house, I would still do that. Let's put the white in. Let's start over. Brayer, some paint on. I kind of didn't do that right. So let's get some paint on again because I lifted my stencil. Okay. Put it down. I got distracted by the idea of housekeeping. Okay, see, cleaning is just not my thing. All right. All right. And then let's put some white down because I really like the idea of that. We won't need very much. Tracy, not afraid of color. I've been thinking about you. I want to get on the phone and call you and talk to you. It's so good to see you here. Okay. Try to work that in to these stars over here. There we go. Where's that brown piece of paper? There she is. Let's put this down here. Not much happened. That's okay. All right. It's getting a little bolder. Let me wipe this off. Just a little. Even though I don't mind dirty stencils, I can still clean them up a little bit. They don't have to be completely dingy. All right. Let's add in some stripes. I'm not going to lay down the white this time because the white will be on the paper that I pick it up with. Everybody's saying hello and good morning to each other. You guys are so sweet. Miss Polarize, I said hi to you, right? So funny that making a journal say for June and July is on my schedule for today. Just need to find some cardboard. Polarize, I wish you were next door, girlfriend. I, in my recycling bin yesterday, put a bunch of cereal boxes and packaging because you know how it is. Once you start like journaling, then nothing looks like trash or recycling anymore. It looks like another craft supply. And my stack had gotten a little out of hand. And when I cleaned it out, I found ephemera for my Anne of Green Gables journals that has been missing for years. It was stuck between the cardboard. Oh my gosh. So, I cleaned it out. I only have a few pieces down there now. And I found my Anne of Green Gables ephemera. What's wild is I cleaned that out, but it didn't pop up till then. All right. Feels kind of humid here today, so I wonder how long this will take to dry. I don't know. Okie dokie, that'll work. Water. There it is. Cool Johnny. Oh my gosh. John Pounds. Can you believe the next Craft Roulette grandbaby is going to be named Johnny? Can you believe that? Did you start something or what? I think it'll be something like that. Maybe, perhaps. I mean, I'm not sure exactly. But perhaps it might happen. I actually don't know if Johnny's the name. I know there's a boy on the way. Pretty sure it's a boy. But here's the thing about that. My mom had a sonogram. I was supposed to be a boy. My name was going to be Richard. Can you imagine me as a Richard? It's only because my dad's name was Richard. Oh my gosh, I could have almost been a Richard Jr. or something. Ugh. No offense, Dad. But so he had It's a Boy cigars because, this was the 70s when people smoked cigars in the hospital. He had It's a Boy cigars. He had It's a Boy everything, balloons, all the things. And the family was all in the waiting room waiting for a boy named Richard. And along came a girl. And so my dad had to run down to the gift shop and buy it. He bought a book of names, and they came back up. He came back up to my mom's room, and they're like, they didn't even think of a girl name. So they had to, and a lot of people would argue they did not do a very good job, even with a book of names, finding a girl name. But they picked Toby because it means a gift from God, and they already had 4 boys. So having a little girl, I guess, felt like a gift from God, especially because they had 4 rowdy boys. And that's how I got the name Toby. And then my middle name is Elizabeth. It's spelled Lisobeth because my dad's middle name is Lee and my mom's name was Elizabeth, and they decided to make up Elizabeth. So my middle name was a blend of both. Oh, Jill Pounds. I grew up on Anne of Green Gables and loved it so much. Lisa's got to catch the rest and replay and listen from the car. Be safe, be safe. Isn't the white going to show over the red when you pull it? I'm going to pull this with matte medium, a clear matte medium. And whatever you paint in the foreground, so whatever I put on top of this would be on top. I hope that makes sense. This is the foreground, and then the top layer of paint that I add on top to pull it will be in the background. So if I pull on white paper, then yeah, this is unnecessary. But I think what I'm going to do is use a clear gel medium, and I'm going to pull this big one right here onto this journal. And the pages of this journal are not white. So I think what I'm going to do is put gel medium on this, and this will get pulled onto this book. So that's why I put some white down. On this one, I didn't bother. I did put white in the stars. I couldn't help myself, but I'll probably pull this on white paper, so it won't really matter. Okay, let's do some more stamping because those gel plates, it's humid here in Texas today, and they're going to take a little while to dry. Okay, I've had this stamp set since I started stamping. I don't even know where it's from. It was PLO 36, Native American. And it is rubber stamps that are cling mount. I think I cleaned, yeah, I did that. They weren't even mounted. They were unmounted rubber, and I mounted them on cling mount. So I can play with those. All right, so I wanted the Chiefs. I'm going to get the Chiefs out. And then I think I'll also use the Eagles from this. Probably. Throw this trash away. I finally moved my trash can back where it goes, and I'm pretty excited about that. All right, let me look and see what this sentiment says on here, humankind has not woven the web of life. We are but one thread within it. Whatever we do to the web, we do to ourselves. All things bound together, all things connect. Chief Seattle. Okay. We won't need that today. All right, but let's stamp out the Chiefs. 17 stripes. Boop, 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 boop. Yeah, we're not going to count the stripes today. Yeah, we're not going to do that, Heidi. It's okay because it's not even all going to show. Let's stamp these out though while we wait. I'm going to use what am I going to use? Maybe I'll use this, the other side. Oh, the Torn Page Vintage Happy People. That's where I wrote a note the other day so I could tell y'all the Etsy shop where things came from. All right, let's get these stamped down. Am I going to want a watercolor? I don't know. Probably not. I'll be fine. If I stamp it down and go, ooh, yeah, I want a watercolor, then I'll just stamp it again on watercolor paper. Cool Johnny, because I was cleaning yesterday during Desiree's live, listening, watching, and cleaning. I was watching on occasion. I was mainly listening, and then I'd pop up and go, ooh, ah, and then I'd get back to cleaning. But I did hear you got some watercolors. You're going to have to bring them with you to Craft Roulette Live. We can watercolor together. And pre-paper Ganza. Okay, next up on the docket here is to paint some poppies. I think the stamping of the eagles will just go directly onto the page. I just kind of wanted to use these like ephemera. Okay, syrup and half these days. I normally don't make decaf K-cups, but brewed regular coffee this morning. Ooh, Jill, you're going to be bouncing today. You're just going to be bouncing right along. I ordered a coffee a couple of weeks ago, I think, and after I ordered it, I was with my hubby. I was like, uh-oh, I forgot to order decaf or half and half. And yes, I was just bouncing right along all day long. Okay. So I got my Chiefs. Check. And now we need some poppies. Here's a piece of watercolor paper. Upside down, if in distress, you could argue that it might be the case. Yeah. Alrighty. It's poppy time. Now, I'm trying to decide, and maybe we can do it a couple of different ways. Like, sketch the poppy and paint it in, or just paint wildly a poppy flower. Let me look up poppies first. I kind of know what they look like, but still, I like to use reference photos. When I was young, My dad would always find me a photo to draw. Okay, here's some poppies. Oh, that's one of my favorite poppies. Okay. Ooh. All right. Ooh, look at all these different colors they come in, but we're doing red. I wonder how many petals a poppy has. That's a pretty good photo. Oh, here's a good one too, just to see the structure of the flower. Okay, that's pretty good. Thank you. I figured I was the only one that counted the stripes. Well, you know, I was kind of counting and then I figured out this isn't going to work. So then I stopped counting. All right. Here we go. It's an art journal. It'll be fine. All right. So this one I'll sketch out. Ooh, that's too big, but that's okay. I usually draw big. I've discovered it's easier to draw big. This one got a little friend, little pollinator friend inside. And then all these pieces. Okay. Yeah. All right. So let's shrink it down. That might work on the art journal page. All right, here we go again. I'm going to shrink it down. We're going to a ramen place today that I've actually wanted to try for some time. But I don't know if I'm in the mood for ramen necessarily. Like when I make ramen at home, I only make dry ramen. I actually don't make it with broth. This place is going to make everything with broth. Wonder if I can order it dry. I know that's just not the way it's done, so I just need to adjust. It's a little smaller. It's not too much smaller. Flying backwards means going into battle. Oh, perfect. I knew there was something about it. Thank you, John. I knew I'd seen it and it was okay. It wasn't, you just don't want to put them upside down. I mean, some people might want to, but no, not today. Not me. We're not going out like that. All right, let's see if I can shrink it down one more time. I at least know that much. All right, here we go. Remember when I was like, I can't remember if this weekend's the block party? I had to check with my neighbor. It's not this weekend. It's 4th of July. Saved. Wasn't ready for a block party this weekend. All right. Couple of poppies. A few poppies. All right. So there's a few sketched. I might even try to just paint some poppies freely as well. You need a pouncer. A pouncer. For the lines that I was trying to paint on the gel plate. My first attempts at watercoloring was sent to your Instagram. Oh, I can't wait to see it, Johnny. I can't wait to see it. We have people coming over at 8 for breakfast. Nice. And then moving. Whose flag are you making? I'm making one. I'm not, what was her name? Betty Ross? I'm not Betty Ross. Heidi? Betsy Ross. I think it was Betsy Ross. I'm Biddy Penny. It's just not going to be right. It's going to be a little off. All right, here we go. Let's paint these up. See how I like them, and then we'll paint some freestyle. All right. So, Biddy, my dad signed my birth certificate before my mom was awake, naming me after her. She was not happy, but he was honoring her. So, I've always been Little Gloria. Oh my gosh, I love that. How funny. Oh, so I didn't finish the story. So, that's how they came up with my name. And then my dad had to go back down. When he was down there getting the name book, he had to buy all new Then It's a Girl things and go back to the waiting room and hook everybody up with all the It's a Girl. And my dad had always had this box of keepsakes, and in it there was still like some It's a Boy cigars as well. All right. I think I'm going to lay down water next time. And I am about to go into battle, John. I'm about to go into battle with this fly. I hate flies. My daughter loved the book series Fly Guy when she was young, and it made me a little more compassionate towards them, but no, it's pretty. I don't like them. I don't like them one bit. So I am about to go into battle. Battle with this fly. One of them. Just one. That's all it takes. Let's get this. I've never painted poppies before. This is a first. I have notes. Already after the first one. I wonder what Angie and Jason are serving for breakfast. Did she say? This looks like some bad rock and roll lips. I think I'll come in and add details later. All right, let's try to move on to this next one. We're going to do a lighter wash. Adjustment would definitely be okay. Stay in touch with him. Yeah, it's nice and I hope my kids stay close by me, but at the same time, I also want them to live their life, and not feel like I get the first 18 years. I don't want them to feel like I don't know, you know, they will be free to live their lives. But I hope that they choose to live close by or at least stay in close contact. One of my friends is living in Indonesia teaching yoga, and her children live here. Now they're older. They're in college and college aged. But I was like, I don't know if I could do that. I don't know if I could live in a different country. All right. Let's do the center of this one a little darker. I'm not sure that I'm actually conveying the structure here of the flower. We'll see. All right, I'm going to outline that, I think, later with a different brush. This brush is not for outlining. Bitty Penny, she was talking about your first one. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Blend that out a little bit. I don't know. Maybe they look like puppies. I actually like it a little more blended like that. Okay, let's try again. Okay, I'm starting to like that one. All right, so let's do a light wash. It's I know it is a Monday, but it's not that day. My girl's coming in to let me know. Fazzy's trying to let me know what day it is. She's gonna. I love you. Have a good day. Um, she's gonna have to get adjusted to the summer hours, you guys. She's my timekeeper, and she's very good at it. Okay. And then I'm just going to tap a little here and a little there. I do think I want these to look really watercolored. Like that's what I'm liking about that one. And that's not what I'm like. Let me work on this top one now again. I'm going to go in, I'm going to darken this section here. Stampscapes? I've never seen green rubber stamps. Oh, y'all are trying to guess where this is from. You guys, it's really old. I mean, I bought it brand new. Can you tell from down here? Something art stamps. It looks like it starts with an A, and there's an L in it. Anneli, something like that. Maybe Annel something. art stamps is what I want to say it is. But I don't know. I've had it forever. It was one of the first stamp sets I ever bought back in 2015. And some of y'all have been stamping a lot longer than that. So when I say forever and really old, you're probably laughing at me. But it goes back to my beginning. Back to my start of it all. Okay, let's see if we can form these maybe a little more into petals. I have to go water the garden after this and work and then get ready and go to lunch and probably come back and work some more today. I hope you guys have a lot better plans than that. But at least I get to have a fun lunch. This one's a little wild, and that's okay. Those are my poppies. Woo! All right, let's do some that aren't sketched now. So let's just do some just kind of freestyle. All right. Girl, I know it's not a school day. There's no school today. Not today. No school. It's summer. I know. I'm sorry. We'll go to the mailbox. The funny thing is she'll go try to wake up the kids too. She'll be like, y'all are sleeping in. Get up. You're going to be late. We got to go. It's always an adjustment period. Okay. And then these are going to be our poppies. All right. Let me take a look. I'm going to put some layers in here. Did Cool Johnny say what kind of watercolors he got? Aren't they cool? It's going to take more than coffee to get me bouncing. California poppies are my faves, but also a good paper poppy. Oh, California poppies. Is that your favorite flower, T? Is a poppy? Oh my gosh, you guys, it's like I just thought of something. We watched an episode of Seinfeld last night, and Elaine was taking a test, and they were finding she kept testing positive for an illegal substance. And then she was at the deli eating her normal breakfast, which was a poppy seed. Hey, it's all connected. A poppy seed muffin. And the guy's like, well, yeah, you're going to test positive for that thing. Because, hello, that thing's made from poppies, just like your poppy seeds. She's like, oh my gosh, I eat these every day. This looks like Mickey Mouse. It's not supposed to look like Mickey Mouse. We're going to have to add a little bit of darkness here to deepen this red a little bit to get more shadowy thing going on. I don't know what's going on with this one. All right. Let's paint in the centers. Actually, I'm going to put these to the side. Those are my puppies. Put my watercolors up. We had a baby shower. First, all the men, uncles, etc., they played cards and drank lucky beers. Oh, the puzzles and the caps. I kept all the beer caps. Oh my gosh. I haven't seen Kim from Alaska in a long time. I know, you guys, I need to email her. I haven't seen her. I just need to know she's okay. You know, just to check in and make sure she's all good. It's okay if she's not here and she's sleeping, or maybe I said something and I can apologize, but I just need to know she's okay. All right, we're going to lift this with matte medium. I do have a big mouth. Biscuits and gravy. Who said biscuits and gravy? Jason Downs, you're serving biscuits and gravy? I'll be there in 5. Dana, good morning. I haven't seen you in a long time either. I was just chatting with my youngest son last night, wishing he could come raid my pantry. Aww. It's really hard when my youngest son lived in Ireland, I bet. When did that have to be hard? Gloria Davis, it's hard. My only daughter lives in California. We get to see her and son-in-law a few times a year. Yeah, oh, you guys, I'm not ready. You know, I have a 16-year-old this summer. He'll be 16 in July. I am not ready for everything that comes with that. All right. This is not dry. I'm going to keep reading y'all's comments. I'm going to sit here and fan this. So you can't use a heat tool, but no reason you can't use a fan and fan it. What you been making? I've been working on Giggle Books for some crafty friends. Oh, Jill, and you're having fun. Oh, I'm so glad. Giggle Books are fun. I'm telling you guys. Yeah, there's no mail today. But that's okay. She doesn't care what comes out of the mailbox, Angie. She just wants to get in the car and go. Good morning, Kat. Hello, Linda. Good morning, ladies. Kalinda. Da, 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 da. Get me all caught up. I use my blow dryer with a cool shot. You do? Oh my gosh. Not on my gel plate. I'll do that on my prints, but I won't do that on I don't have a blow dryer. You should see my hair. Now, I have a blow dryer in my bathroom, but not in my craft room. Can y'all see what's shiny? All these thick pieces. I was trying to not have too much of that. Everything else is dry. Let's sit and watch paint dry. Not. All right. Let's move on. Let's fussy cut. That's more exciting. That's riveting content. Let's fussy cut out the Chiefs. Sitting Bull. That was such a good documentary. If you guys are Disney Plus subscribers, or you get, I think it's on National Geographic. I think it's part of National Geographic. But there's a Sitting Bull documentary on there that is so great. It's a mini series, so I think there's 3 or 4 episodes in the mini series. I always wondered why he was a part of Wild Bill Hickok's circus. I always wondered how that happened, And this documentary answers that and so much more. My mom is from Oklahoma, and we grew up with a lot of respect, closeness to Native American culture. My grandmother's father and uncle are on the scrolls as Choctaws. Now, and my mom went to a school, a one-room school on a reservation until she was I think she was about 8 or 10 when they came in, and she was one of those kids. She said they took them all outside, lined them up along the wall of the school, the outside long wall, and put bowls on their heads and cut all their hair. And her first public school picture, she looks like, she looked just like, I think, Boo Radley from that book and movie. Oh, what's it called? Y'all are probably going to remember it. She looked just like the actress who played Boo in that. Anyway, she has that bowl haircut in her first school picture, which she still has. Cutting out the fringe of these, around these feathers. Anyways, and then she was forced into the public school system, which is okay. It's not a bad thing. It worked out for her. I'm sure it was possibly the best thing for her at that time. Anyways, my children, I still take them to powwows. We have an Austin powwow here every year. It's been a couple of years since we've been, but we take them to the powwows and make sure that they're just aware of that culture. I think we're all enriched by different cultures. I'm so sad to see that there's such a movement against diversity, because I think it's what makes us better. I think it's interesting to have different cultures, a melting pot. I am going to watercolor these. They're not on watercolor paper, but that's okay. I'm not going to use that much water. It should be fine. Some paper does better than others for sure. Some paper is just too thirsty to behave with watercolor, but we'll see. We'll see how this one is. I don't know what I'm using. I don't know what kind of paper this is. It'll be a surprise. Yeah, tea. Yeah. But you know what? So I will say though, they kept them fed. So because my mom was one of 11, and she was raised by one really strong woman because her dad wasn't there. He wasn't well. He was institutionalized and sick. And so my grandmother single handedly raised 11 children as part native, which things weren't working in your favor then, if that were the case, just like they're probably not now. And, but they always took care of their people. And when my grandmother's house got to where it really needed to be replaced, they tore down her old house because she owned the land, and they built her a brand new house. And I don't think that was like the tribal group. That was done by the government, if I'm not mistaken. I'm really honestly not sure who built her house. But yeah, my grandmother, she was like 4'11", and she could put the fear of God in you. She was a strong woman. And when she passed at her funeral, she literally, I did the head count, had over 100 direct descendants there honoring her, including myself and my 2 children. I mean, she was powerful and strong and quite legendary woman. It's amazing what she could do. And she was very artsy and craftsy. And I taught her how to make jewelry. She loved making jewelry, but she did a lot of quilting. She made handmade lace. She was awesome. All right. Let's put this down here. This is working out. This paper is working out. It's just fine. After all, I really like this color of feathers. I'm not like following any particular bird. I'm probably not doing it right. This is more like a tropical bird than probably the native bird, but that's okay. Again, don't count the stripes on my flag, and let's not go by. These should probably all be brown. I might add a little brown to them. You guys know I proposed to my husband, and I actually ordered his rings from a jewelry maker at a powwow. He was Lakota in Arizona, and he made gorgeous rings. The only thing is I made up my husband's size, and it's just gargantuan. It's way too big. But I didn't want to let on to the fact that I was about to propose to him. So I just guessed his ring size. We don't wear those rings, but they're beautiful. Um, they're inlaid um, with stones, with like opal, all these stones. Oh, they're so gorgeous. We still have them. We cherish them, but we don't wear them. All right. I think I'm going to color that in with, just going to color this in a little bit with this black here. I'm going to color that in with a gel pen. And I'm going to go over this with a little bit of brown. Just going to do a wash. Knock it back a little bit. Distress it a little bit. There we go. All right. I'm going to do the same thing on this one. A Rasta headdress. That's totally what it is. Can you tell I'm married to a Jamaican? I know. I gotta knock that down. That's not what that's supposed to look like. Let's add a little more brown. Let's just knock it back a little. There we go. A little on the red. It's a little less Rasta. It's definitely giving the Rasta vibe. So let's color all that brown. There we go. That's more like it. That's exactly what it was, T. All right. Let's give this guy some red. We're going to have a lot of red in this page, aren't we? All right. And then we'll get going on some lifting those gel prints because I think they should be pretty close. Put a little green on the edge of that. Let's make his flute brown. Oh, I guess that might not be a flute. Well, whatever. His pipe, his flute, whichever one it is. All right. All right. When I was in college, I lived with some Lakota and I studied their religion. I learned about their religion. The Lakotas are the ones that do the sun dance. I'm pretty sure the state has outlawed them from being able to pierce their flesh anymore the way they used to. That is the Lakota that do that. All right. But yeah, we used to do a monthly sweat lodge. Oh my goodness. Talk about intense. Sweat lodge is intense. All right, let's see if we can lift this with the matte medium. It's still a little wet, so there it is. I'm just going to use this Liquitex matte medium. This one's really fluid. Brayer that on. Now this is dry, at least mostly. Some of the red parts are a little not as dry. But this is dry. If it was wet, I'd be messing up the whole design. But because it's dry, for the most part, then I can brayer over it like this. Okay. Let me get my book out. Let me zoom you guys out a little bit. Going into battle, Johnny says. Here we go. Now, I probably should have done this the other way, like put my book on the bottom and the gel plate on top, but I think we can flip it without any casualty. I'm going to leave that there for a minute. Let it do its thing. While that's doing its thing, I have this on a clear acrylic cutting board, so I have a hard surface I can work on. I think I'll go back in and add some detail into these. I'm not even using a fancy pen. I'm just going to use this one. Nima, hi. Nima, I tried to watercolor poppies this morning. You're probably going to look at these and go, what? Those are poppies? Nima is a fantastic watercolor artist. You guys, in case you didn't know, she is. I have a bunch of orders to get out today, you guys. Thank you. And also, I'm sorry because some of them are pretty late. I just have been past, I just been in a weird place with that because I'm closing up shop. I think I will try to just clearance out stuff. So don't place any more orders yet. I wasn't sure if I would clearance out stuff or what I would do, if I would just shut it down. But I'm going to have too much inventory if I don't just clearance out some stuff. And Desiree said, girl, that's what you need to do. So I'm going to listen. All right. These are still a little wet. I was just going to shut it down, but Sparkle Heart's going to help me this week. And here's what I'm going to do with the stamps. Desiree said, and I'm going to do, group them like flowers, critters, whatever. And I am going to sell 5 for $15 in bundles. And you won't know necessarily what you're going to get, and I won't know what you're going to get because Sparkle Heart is just going to go through and fill bags with stamps. And if there's critters, those go into one. I might do some that are just completely like a blind bag, and it might be a mixture of flowers, critters, whatever, sentiments, people, whatever. But that's kind of the plan at this point. All right, let's add some sketchy lines to this. It'll almost make it look like it was a stamp. Almost, but not quite. All right. That's how that came together. Let's do it again. Not bad. Not bad for just winging it. All right. Johnny, I read the chat and I didn't see what watercolors you got. I'm so curious. I know Angie got Kiritaki. Miss Paula, yes, I will let you know, okay? I'll give you, because I know you've been faithfully watching for those. So I will let you know. You and Delise both. I don't know that this one looks like a poppy, but will it really matter? Not so much. There's the poppies. We can go ahead and cut those out. This is probably dried now. Let's lift it and see. I just want to make sure after all that work that we get a good transfer. Yeah, this is good. This will work. Pretty good. Not perfect. Got some interesting peeling going on there. And I don't gel print enough to tell you why that happened. Too wet, because the paint was still wet. I'm not sure. But let's dry it. Feel it like a distressed, torn flag. See why I use the white now? That way I actually had some white stars on this brown paper. Should be able to move back into our house by the end of this week. Oh, that's wonderful news, Vicki. I am so happy to hear that. Let me tell you, I told my husband yesterday, I was like, we need to clean out our attic. I know that the fire started in your attic, and not because you needed to clean it out, but because that's life. But ours does need to be cleaned out. My thing is like, I don't even know what's in most of those boxes at this point. So I don't need it in my life. I can't even tell you what's in there. Pretty grabby brand, the paint squares. Oh, are real small, unlike yours. Yeah. Okay, you got grabby. Good. Well, that's probably a great first kit. I haven't used their stuff, but you can at least use it, Johnny, and figure out if it's something that you like. And then if it is, and you want to invest later, you could invest later and get a different one. But I think that's probably a really good place to start. And you may never want to get a different one. That may just be exactly what you come to love and enjoy. Bring them to Craft Roulette Live and Pre-Paper Ganza watercolor. All right, that's dry. Excellent. All right, and we've got these dudes. But these dudes are pretty small. So I had other plans, so let me get more paint out real quick. I'm happy you got some watercolors, Johnny. All right. Well, geez. Found a hole in my acrylic paint collection. I don't really have very many browns. I got this metallic out. And this was raw sienna and this is burnt sienna. Those are the only two browns I have. Okay, no problem. We'll make it work. I need a palette. Let's use this part. I brayered off over here when I had the matte medium. I'm just going to use it like a palette. We no longer have electric vent fans. Is that what the problem was, Vicky? We almost put those in because they always recommend those to cool your attic. And then by and large, like help keep your house cooler. But we never installed them. Our roof is vented. That's the way they build them these days. My first attempts is what I sent in here. Yeah, I can't wait to see it. I'm going to open it. Not here. I don't know if you want everyone to see it. I have some watercolor paints that came and marker pencil paint set that I got about a decade ago. I guess I could always dabble with those and see what happens. Watercolor is, for me, and we're not all the same, thank goodness. But for me, just so much fun. Just so much fun. All right, getting another brush. Just want to mix this and see what I get here. Ooh, yeah, that's the brown I wanted. Okay, cool. Excellent. We're gonna just kind of drop in some mountains here. Mountain's Majesty, right? These are from Kim in Alaska. T, do you see Kim in Alaska? Has she been popping in your lives or comments? We haven't seen her around here. I don't know if I said something or if her schedule changed. I don't know. I need to email her. I just haven't yet. I got to make that a priority. I got some Kiritaki watercolors. Oh my gosh, that's so exciting. Just start by swatching. Just get a piece of paper and swatch them. And just tell yourself, I'm just swatching. And then maybe get a stamp set out and color it with your watercolors instead of markers or however, color pencils, however you normally color your stamps. Say, you know what, today I'm just going to stamp on some paper and paint my stamped images. Just play. I'm going to put some white caps of snow, I think, on that. And then let's do some green, like a valley. So let's use this brown over here and put in another mountaintop. This is just an art journal. Just play and have fun. Sparkle Heart, can you let Fazzy out? Thank you. What time is it? Ooh, girl is running over on time. Uh-oh. I mean, it's fine, but I meant to only make this an hour and a half. And no, I'm not going to stop and come back and do it later because that's not, no. We're just going to keep going until it's done. It's all that gel printing, huh? And painting our poppies. Let's see if I can make this look like a mountain. Fazzy, go to Carms. Go on. Go to Carms. She's going to let you outside. Kind of looks like a mountain. Kinda. Let's take it up a little higher. Really got to get a mountaintop in there. There we go. It's starting to look mountainous. Then we have some, I'm going to paint some green in here. We have the Chiefs to add. This reminds me of Arizona and New Mexico. These mountains do. Which is kind of perfect. Arizona and New Mexico. It's got a lot of chiefs in it. All right. All right, let's do some greenery. Just kind of place these guys around. I don't know where they'll go exactly. I'm going to switch water because I'm going to move to watercoloring. And I don't want the acrylic paint to mix with my watercolors. So I've got another clean water here. And I'm going to watercolor in. Nima, if you like tubes are okay spending more money. My favorite is Daniel Smith. Yeah. Daniel Smith is really good. Yeah, and I fell in love with Core. Nima, I don't know if you've ever tried Core or not by Golden, but I fell in love with those last year. I picked some up at Blick when we were in Kansas City for Craft Roulette Live, Paper Ganza. And I fell in love with those. There's so many good ones, but I think, you just got to start somewhere. So start with what you have. Start with and see, my thing is if you start with a set that's not an artist grade set, then be very patient with yourself because sometimes it could be the watercolor and not you. But you can do a lot with a student set when you're first learning and trying to see, do I even like this medium? I think it's a great place to start because you can figure out if you enjoy watercoloring and if it's a medium that you want to invest in. And then later you can invest in some of the more artist grade brands. And there's a lot out there to choose from. All right, just putting in a little bit of greenery here. The Valley. This is not watercolor paper. So you see it kind of beating up on it. When you want a watercolor and you're not working on watercolor paper, Just test the paper first. I've tested this one before, and I've found that I can work the color in, but you could also always gesso on it. There's also this thing called watercolor ground. Here's some right here by Golan. It's the core one. But this is like a gesso that you paint onto a surface, and it will turn a surface into watercolor. So you could put this on wood. I can put this, I got this so I could paint it on rocks and then paint them. I know Nima's been painting a lot on rocks with watercolor. But I got it so I could turn surfaces other than paper into a watercolor surface. But you don't have to have that. You don't need that right away. You don't need that until much, much later. And you actually never need it. It's only if you want it, kind of thing. All right. The next thing that I'm wanting to do is actually write across this journal page. Let's find some words from our founding fathers, eh? Let's find something about, something with wisdom. All right. Let me see here. There she is. I've been thinking I might try one. I'm doing Craft Roulette Live virtually. Good, Holly. But May isn't too far from where I live. Have you been in person class with May or virtual? Oh, okay. Meredith, hi. Good morning. Happy Memorial Day. Okay. Ooh, I like this. We don't know them all, but we owe them all. Talking about the men and women who have given the ultimate for this country. For love of country, they accepted death and thus resolved all doubts and made immortal their patriotism and their virtue. James A. Garfield. We all know Home of the Free because of the brave. I think I really want to use this one. We don't know them all, but we owe them all. And I'm going to write that across here. Let's see. I'm going to use a paint marker because acrylic paint pen. I believe that'll be the best option for this surface. I'm going to use my Ahoohoos. Shake it up. Yeah, Johnny, there's so many really great watercolor channels, and they make it really like approachable. All right. Let's add in, because we're running low on time. I know I could probably spend more time on this page and do a lot more detail, but we also have spent our time this morning. So I do want to go ahead and make a quick card too. Let's see. Let's stamp some of the birds. Let's stamp. I got this eagle stamp set for days like these. This is from, and I haven't used it yet, Amazon. Okay, there's the sticker. GLOBLEAND. LAND. Global Land. And this is Eagle. This is Eagle Land. Yeah. This brand, I actually have quite a few of their stamp sets. They are silicone. They're not photopolymer. But I don't have a problem with silicone. They might not last as long. They might, I don't know. But I personally don't have a problem with them. All right, let's stamp a few eagles in here. I'm going to put my stamping, I think they call this a secret weapon or something, from Sizzix. It's just a stamping, foam stamping platform kind of thing underneath here, so I can get a better impression of this. Let's put a few flying eagles in here. Not bad. How are we starting the last week of May already? Sheesh. I know, Jill Pounds. I know. Maddie, good morning. All right, let's put a third one. This guy's coming in hot. Upside down, just about to go eagle on everybody. All right. There's that. And then how about we put some stars in here? Just for funsies. Bye, Jason and Angie. Have fun with your breakfast. Biscuits and gravy. Oh my, oh my. And good luck moving your son today. Hope that goes well. All right. Let's put some stars up yonder. I got stars in all sizes. Let's put some big ones. My dog is unrelenting. Funny girl. All right. I think I'll bring in some yellow. We'll see. I'm just going to dab it in there. Put too much pressure on myself. I don't like to practice. Oh, practicing is what it's all about. Get yourself an inexpensive sketchbook or make one. how can you make one? You can take an old book and gesso on the pages, or get just a really cheap, you know what, you can, you won't be able to practice all the techniques, but you can actually watercolor in like a composition notebook. You know, I used to be 50 cents. They're not anymore, I know, but still inexpensive. And you can watercolor in one. And just that way you don't have some big investment that seems really precious, and just work in it and just throw paint at it. Or you can use an old book that you already have, get yourself some gesso, or use white acrylic. You're going to get a different result with gesso or white acrylic paint than you would get on watercolor paper. Like if you're going to do an alternative, you have to expect alternative results, but not to say it can't be done and you can't play, because you can. And just play. Just play. Don't take it too serious. Don't be hard on yourself. And you can call it your art journal. Like what I'm doing is just art journaling. And it's just a great way to get to know your supplies. I'm going to clean this stencil off onto paper. But sometimes it's good to work on something that you don't consider precious. You know, if you go out and buy a watercolor journal, sketchbook, and you spend 15, 20 bucks on it, then that might be too precious and then you won't use it. So if you go out and spend $1 at Walmart on a composition notebook, you might be more free and willing to experiment. And honestly, Johnny, once you get started playing, that's where all the fun is at. I was going to have that tree end behind. I still am going to have it end behind the mountain. Let's add some sketchy lines to the mountain. I like these pens. I don't know what it is. Oh, it's a zebra grip. Z-grip. Zebra makes really good pens and pencils. I like how it just lays down the ink. I struggle with microns, to be honest, because I want to just be able to lay down ink real freely. And with a micron, I feel like it's always hit and miss and kind of not what I want it to be. All right, I'm going to add some paint in on those. I have some yellow and blue. Let's make a green. Reagan! I covered some really thick chipboard with some paper from an Amazon package that I wrinkled into a ball, then flattened. It gave a very leathery look. Oh, nice. It's a mini album. Oh, cool. Alrighty. Let's see what green this is. Oh, that'll work. Oh, I like it because it's kind of distressed and muted. Kind of like a peeled paint. Tim Holtz peeled paint color. All right. I'm going to make this actually look like trees. Let's see. Kind of. It's fine. It's fine. It's a journal page. That pen coming through gives a really interesting texture. What if we make the tree go up even higher? I'll come back and add we. Wee! All right. That's a big old tree, isn't it? All right. It's fine. I'm going to stop here for this page just because of time. I could keep going and going. I'll add the we back in with a marker, adding in a trunk. Tad bit of blue, darken this a little bit. Another fun thing to do with watercolors, you guys, is to learn color theory, mixing, like how the colors that you mix together to get other colors. Just by doing a color chart, you'll learn so much with your color theory. All right, I'm going to dry this real quick, add the little bit of detail, add my word we back in there. And I'm going to call this page done. Changed. Let's see, Joe Pounds, there is nothing better in this world than grandchildren. Aww. Yeah, there's something special about a grandparent's love. I know there is something special about having grandchildren. I hope to experience it one day myself, so I'll know firsthand. But I know from the way that my parents love their grandchildren and my husband's parents and others that there is something very special about a grandchild. All right, let me dry these two trees real quick and we'll finish off this page. Just kind of trying to clear a path here. Get this in view for you guys. I'm gonna have to clean up after my live today. All right, let me dry this. They were over yesterday. Aw. Oh, wow, you're going to a space center today. That's a great way to spend Memorial Day. I hope you guys have fun, Holly. That sounds like fun. They made a journal yesterday. How cool. Sparkle Heart, she wanted junk journals when I first started. I made her a junk journal. I've shown it here before because, of course, she didn't want it anymore, but I was going to keep it. when she was like 2 or 3, she wanted a junk journal. So of course I made her one. And then we made her one for Barbie a couple of years ago. Together, all of us. That's dry. This paint just has a lot of sheen to it. This is the Master's Touch, I think, or what is this one's called? This one is from Hobby Lobby. Yeah, Master's Touch. It has a lot of sheen to it. It's a high gloss paint. I'd never used it before. All right, let's add the word we back in. Let's add a little detail to these trees too with our paint, with our Hoo paint pens. I need green and my black. My grandsons are 8 and 4 and such a blessing. Aww. All right, let's do the green first. Because we're going to write the word we on top. I hope y'all don't mind the long live today. That was not by design. It's summer though. This happens in summer with me. When I get to ignore the bird. Ignore. I made up a new word. When I get to ignore the bird. My lives get a little long. Nice. They kind of became the focal point accidentally. Those trees. But we owe them. There we go. But we owe them all. Okay. Just play, play, play. That's all this is. Here's the thing. When you start your art journals, you guys don't even have to share them, but then you might want to share them. I was going to put snow tops on them, but then, they just really remind me of like Arizona and New Mexico mountains. So I'm going to leave them without snow. But let's see if we want to put our chiefs on here. And if so, where do the chiefs go? Ooh, I kind of like the chief down here. Maybe these two chiefs are face to face. And this chief, yeah, I like it, is up here. Let's add our chiefs in. I'm going to think of this one as Sitting Bull. I mean, he is sitting down. It's silly, y'all. I'm just being silly. But he was a great war chief. All right. Maybe these are the chiefs that helped in World War II. Or it's from these chiefs' leadership, So maybe. We stand on the shoulders of our ancestors. And we stand on the shoulders of those brave and intelligent people before us. Let's pull that last gel print for the card. Let's put this guy right here. And I do think I want to color it in a bit. So let's do that. Just a little, you guys. Yeah, the Chiefs brought the whole thing to life, didn't they? Just a little. Let's do a little blue behind this guy. Is it the same blue? This is what's cool about these markers, you guys. You get this window into the ink of what the color of the ink is. So you can hold it to your project and go, oh, I think I like this blue a little better than this blue. You know, you can see what the ink is actually going to come out like. And I think I like that blue better. That is one of the really cool features about these Nahuku. Nauka? Nahuku? I don't know. But yeah, let's color this in so he kind of blends with that flag back there a little bit. And this page, you know, I used lots of mediums. I used acrylic paint, watercolor. I'm using acrylic pens. I used matte medium, liquid matte medium to pick up the gel printing. So it's definitely mixed media. All right, I'm going to bring in some gel pens and add a little silver and detail to this. Oh, thanks, Holly. Glad you like it. Add some silver to these because these are silver that hold the feathers. So let's put the silver in there. One of my son's doctors for the last, gosh, like 5 years is part of the Chickasaw Nation. And he is like this region's, I don't know what title it is, but he runs the Chickasaw Nation in this region. And he's such a cool guy, such a good person, so amazing. We love him dearly. All right, let's add in, looking for a color for that band. Ooh, let's do turquoise. Let's put in a turquoise band right here. You guys didn't think I was going to leave that just white, did you? Let's put in. Let's color his band turquoise too. All right. Let's give him some turquoise. I'm not going to leave you out, buddy. You get a whole lot of turquoise. There you go, buddy. All right. Let's put gold. And I'll be done coloring these guys in. Well, let's make these gold, whatever this is. I did visit my craft room. Oh, okay, I can read. I did visit my craft room yesterday and made hubby an anniversary card. Oh, Maddie. But boy, did I leave a mess behind. I need to deal with that today. Me too, Maddie, because I cleaned my craft room yesterday and I just don't, you know, today's live. I've made a mess and I need to clean it up so I can still see the progress. And I'm adding some hot pink because he's a strong man and he can handle it. All right. Modern man. My son has this hot pink, beautiful sweatshirt that he wears. Oh, he always looks so handsome in it. I love it. It's like somebody put it through an embossing machine. It's like embossed with this really cool like geometric texture, and it's hot pink. Oh, it's so nice. I'm digging this hot pink. I'm gonna put it around the edge too. It's my art journal. I can hot pink if I want to. And that's the power of an art journal. You can do anything and you don't even have to show anybody. It could be your little secret. All right. I'm calling it done. This page is done. I love how you're jumping in with the different kinds of supplies. Yeah, they play so well together. Hey, Jay. Happy Memorial Day. Good morning. We've been working all this time to make this art journal page, but it finally came together. And now we have one more gel print to pull right here, and it's definitely dry. Let's pull this one with paint because something about that mixed media. See, that's another reason to keep an art journal because then you can try different techniques. But I think because this paint was still wet and I used this acrylic matte medium, it like kind of melted our flag a little bit or something. So let's pull this one with paint. And I just closed that page. I probably should leave it open a little while to make sure it like cures. Seems dry, but you never know. All right, let's put this on this is a 5x7 gel plate. And let's pull it and put it on a card front. I think I will pull it with white. Let me get, is this big enough? Yeah, I'm just going to use that to pull it. All right, here we go. Getting these weird streaks. That's okay. There's something, I need to clean that brayer. Something on there. This is a little risky because I don't know what paper this is and I don't know if it'll pull well. We'll see. We will soon find out. You brayer this off. Oh, I didn't even add my poppies, you guys. We went through all that trouble painting poppies. We'll add them on the card. Silly woman. I didn't know you could use a gel plate with an art journal. Yeah. Sure. You can do anything you want. I look like a dirty little rascal. I've got paint all over me. I walk through life with a little bit of ink or paint on my hands. Lift. And yes, she's backwards, but that's okay. There is our print. That came out beautifully. So that tells me it was the mix. It was the matte medium with slightly wet paint that caused the error earlier. I was looking for my cover for that. I'll have to find it later. All right, let's cut out the poppies if y'all don't mind. And then we'll put this on a card with a sentiment and call it a day. What papers usually pull well? Well, Jay, it depends. You know what pulls really well typically is just plain old 20-pound printer paper, like the cheap stuff, the cheaper stuff that you get from a grocery store, or wherever, Target, wherever you shop and you get 20-pound paper. That stuff pulls typically really well. Tissue paper pulls really well. Again, Dollar Tree, do they still charge $1.25? I haven't been to a Dollar Tree in a really long time, but um, just the basic tissue paper pulls really well. Um, Never put, and let me bring y'all in closer now that we're done in that big, huge journal. I'm going to bring you in a little closer. Here we go. Never put photo paper on a gel plate. It's got, like coatings and things on it that are ideal for printing photographs, but terrible for a gel plate. And I'll tell you, sometimes I'll just be like, oh, I don't know what paper this is. And I'll put it on my gel plate and it'll all stick. And then I have to soak it off with water. I lose that print. So it is something you want to think about when you're gel printing. You definitely do have to think about your paper. That's for sure. Oh, okay. I'm going to go grab a stamp set from Mindless Crafting. I've used it a few times, but I have a Mindless Crafting stamp set I'm going to pull and use for this card. These puppies are kind of wide. Definitely loose and wild. These are wild poppies. I know we don't need them all, but it only takes a minute to cut these out. And I don't know which one I'll want to use. All right. Let me get the stamp set out. Y'all seen me use this one before. I want to use these silhouettes. This stamp set is from Mindless Crafting. I don't know if they still have it. I want to say they discontinued it. It's called Honoring Our Troops. But if you can't get it in I think the last time I used it, they still had some in stock. But if you can't get the photopolymer stamps, you can get it in a digital from Mindless Crafting. Okay. I think those 3 poppies would be enough. And then let's stamp these out in black. The largest one is my favorite. Yeah, and you know what's funny, Nima? That was the first one I did, and I was like, uh-oh, this is going terribly wrong. And it ended up being my favorite, too. Never give up, right? Don't give up on the things you're making, because you just don't know. do is put these guys in there. Grab another piece of watercolor paper. This is the You Create paper. That is so great for stamping because it has a nice smooth surface. That'll work. Get my Sizzix stamping mat back out. And my VersaFine inks. Bethany, hello. I have to go back to see how you did them. What did I do? The gel plates? Yeah, those are at the beginning. Sorry, we've been here a while, Jay. I actually didn't plan on being on this long today. But, you know, here we are. And the poppies, I was just making that up. I just Googled poppies and tried to paint them. That'll work. I think Karen's stamps, I think these could easily be poppies. Now that, too bad I didn't think of that before, but that's okay. All right. Got our people. You Create. I don't think I've ever heard of that paper. Maddie, it's the letter U. I should have shared that before. It's the letter U Create, and it's on Amazon. It's $35 roughly for 250 sheets, and it's fabulous. It's more like 90-pound weight. It's not the real heavy 140-pound. Desiree put me onto it because she likes to tangle on it. And I like this instead of Canson XL for stamping because I can get, you know, when you try to stamp on cold press paper, which is highly textured, it does not give you the best results. Even if you use a stamp positioning tool and stamp over and over repeatedly, it just still doesn't give you the crisp lines, but this stamp does, or this paper does. Like I could have stamped on this, like if I put this in a stamp positioning tool and put one more layer of ink, I would have been able to fill this in nicely. All right, and I will go in and cut out that space with my X-Acto knife or something like it. My dog is laying right here. She's like, you're not going anywhere without me. Wherever we're going, I'm going to. No, I mean how you made the poppies. Oh, yeah, that's back there too. I made the poppies while I waited on the gel prints to dry. It's been quite the morning around here, Jay. Quite the morning. Been gel printing, watercoloring, stamping, yapping, yapping, yapping. All right. You know, the usual. All right. I like this arrangement. I'm trying not to disturb it too much because I'll never get it back there. Here, if I like the arrangement that much, let me tack it down. A little bit of glue here and there. There we go. Now I don't have to worry. Move your precious little fingers. Make sure they're not in the way when you're doing this nitty-gritty cutting like I'm doing. I want to keep all those digits. Okay. Oh man, I meant to be charging my watch the whole time I was in this live with you guys. It would have been 100% by the time I was done. Whoopsies. Very mixed media. Yes, Jay. It is the way. Okay, and now just this guy. Oh, my mom's calling me. All right. To call her back. All righty. Here we go. Here we go. Let's trim this down to a 5x7. Ladies first. I'm going to put her in front of that guy. I found a paper trimmer yesterday in my craft room. I've been wondering where it went. I found it. I mean, it's not one that I use, well, obviously, because it's been missing for a long time. But it's not one I use very often, only because it doesn't have like 7 inches on here. Like, you know, I can't measure a 5x7 card with it. It's not incredibly useful for that reason for me. But I was still glad I found it. See, but now I'm at this situation. Down here at one point, I did measure out to roughly the 7-inch mark. I can tell I need to go back in and with a Sharpie and add that number back in. So down here, because of the curve, I was able to get an extra bit of real estate for measuring. So this should be a 5x7, roughly. But this is why I like that 5x7 gel plate too. Okie dokie. Let's put these in here somewhere. Then see what these sentiments say. Never forget. That would probably be a good one. Missing you. That would be a good one. Honor, salute. Those would all work in this scenario. Let's pull some paper for a card base. I'm going to try to cut myself some card bases. I think I'll use navy blue. In the navy. I know you can stamp with a piece of what? Celery? Is stamping with celery on a gel plate or something? I have seen celery stamping. I don't remember in what application. Oh, that's not a paper trimmer. Wrong one. Well, while we're here, let's score it 5 inches. All right, won't have to do that later. Now let's get an actual paper trimmer out. Turn this card aside and put the soldiers next to the flowers of the blue in the upper left. Oh, yeah? I know what you're talking about. That's a good idea. Let me try that. But then the stripes will go the wrong way. Okay, we got there. We got a 5x7 base. It took a little maneuvering. But yeah, if I turn it this way and I turn all this J, then my stripes are going the wrong way. I know it's kind of backwards like this. John says that means you're going into battle when the flag is presented like this. Yeah, that was me flubbing on the gel printing. But I think it will work. Oh, you know what? Let's add a little bit of yellow to those centers with the poppies with my hoops. Turn this card on its side and put the soldier. Oh, that was you, Johnny, that said that. Oh. It's flag-esque. It's giving flag vibes. I mean, if we had more time, but I really do need to go because I have a lot going on today. If I had more time, what I could do is I could cut this part out because these are just simple stripes and paint. Okay, fine. And then paint stripes. Twist my arm. Here we go. All right. So we'll cut this part out. Not straight or anything, just cut out. Okie dokie. So we've got that. This could go in the trash. My trash can has been misplaced for some time, and I keep trying to turn and put it in the place it doesn't go. All right. And then let's grab one of these. Cut this down to 5x7. Could scan it and mirror the image. Yeah. could. Let's get a straight edge. You're right. 5 by 7. And maybe I want to cut it down. Maybe I want to border. I think I do. Oh, my tummy wants breakfast. I want a border and my tummy wants breakfast. Let's trim down this a little bit too. And trim off that edge. Okay. Get to trimming. There we go. Oh gosh, my mom's calling me again. Okay. There we go. Yes. Thank you for your service. He's still serving us, just in a different way. All right. Us, our country. Okay. We're going to get there, you guys. This is like the crafty adventure that doesn't want to stop. Okay, here we go. Uno mas on the stripes. All right. Okie dokie dokie dokie. That's that. I might turn it that way. This will go on here because I kind of like the unevenness of these. Okay, glue that down. Okie dokie. And then we'll glue this to a card base. There we go. And say a big thank you to all of our service people. Those who are with us and those who are gone. this is going to go over here. I think these guys are going to go like that. All right. And then let's do honoring veterans. I might just take this card with me today and leave it somewhere. Maybe a veteran will find it. I'll put thank you for your service in it. And perhaps the right person will find it. You're going to pull out your gel plate today. Woohoo! I like that. That's a spirit right there. All right. You know, Bill's a veteran. Tracy and Bill, Mindless Crafting. Bill, he's a veteran as well. Thanks, Bill. All right. That will make someone stay, won't it? I'm going to go a few places. So I'll go where the spirit, I'll leave it where the spirit leads me to leave it. I kind of want to put a little bit of greenery in here. Hold on, I have a punch for it. We won't go off the deep end. I won't go off the deep end. Y'all never go off the deep end. It's always me. I'm the problem. All right. Checking my scraps for some green. I've done this before. See? Even with this scrap of paper with my other greenery punch. Been down this road. All right. I don't know. I just feel like it might need we'll see if we like it. A little green to break things up. Just a little bit. What do you think? I think I like it with the green. Armed Forces Days is for those still serving. Veterans Days is for those who did serve. And Memorial Day is those who gave the ultimate, who paid the ultimate sacrifice. That's right. My art journal page is probably a little more memorial, and this is maybe a little more veterans, but it'll work. The poppies will let them know, like, we're remembering those veterans who have passed. All right. And not just the veterans who passed, right, Johnny, but the ones who passed while serving. I think so, anyways. Glue it down within an inch of its life or a millimeter of its life. All right. That's not going anywhere. My daughter's best friend's brother-in-law was one of the first Aw. Absolutely, Gloria. I have a friend and her now ex-husband, but nonetheless is just returning from serving in the current conflict. And even though it's her ex-husband, she said I was so relieved he got to come home. They have a child together. And yeah. I could have ink blended around the white area where I cut, but I think those white highlights are actually kind of important for this particular image so that we can tell. I don't know. I think it kind of helps in this scenario. They're highlights. Consider these highlights. We'll stagger them. All right. We did it. Well, that was quick and easy. Thanks for the suggestion, Johnny. We worked it out on that flag. Yes, we did. I was thinking that was thin enough to get in there. I need to get in there and clean that out. It's got dried paint on it. I think that might be what was causing the lines. Gloria, do you ever watch PM Artist Studios, or do you watch Yolande at Devon Rex for Art? If you want some gel printing, or Karen McCoy, those are great channels to watch for inspiration. There, finally. Okay, I'll probably get much better results now. Got to keep your brayer clean. I had some stuff right in there. It's gone now. Okie doke, guys. I hope you enjoyed that. I had fun. Oh, where's this guy? Where's my little soldier? He's on my desk still. He's lost. Oh no. As long as he's not down the sink again. Oh, there he is. Yeah. Whoa. I think I named him John. Name again? Okay. PM Artist Studios. Here you go, dear. Right here. PM Artist Studios. They're live on these days. They mainly do live content and shorts. But this is Patricia and this is Mariah. It's a mother-daughter duo. Patricia is, I believe, a retired art teacher and gel plate extraordinaire. You can learn a lot from her. And then Patricia, her daughter, does all the mixed media stuff. So her mom prints everything and she turns it into something. And they're live here on YouTube Sundays, Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. 2 days a week, they're at 10 a.m. 2 days a week, they're at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. So that is PM Artist Studios. And they sell amazing stencils. You'll see me use, they sell really cool foam stamps and stencils. And that's what they use when they use their products. They use their own, and they just have like a whole thing going on. Okay. So that's Patricia and Mariah, PM Artist Studios. And then there's Yolande at Devon Rex for Art. Let me write it down because I'm one of those people. I need to see it written down. Devon, whoops. I was jumping right into the next word. Devon Rex for Art. She is right here on YouTube as well. Incredible teacher for the gel plate. You'll learn a ton from her. And then there's Karen McCoy. And Karen's fun. She's getting started with gel printing. I mean, she's been doing it a while now. But she's just really fun and free with it. So if you just want to feel like a whole lot of freedom with it, you can watch Karen. They're all great. They're all wonderful. And there's many more. When you find PM Artist Studios, you're going to find a whole list of people because they have a lot of designers. Okie dokie. Well, you guys, this is me signing off until Thursday. And a look back at what we did today. Made this card. We made this art journal page. I'm excited to have this in my art journal. Thanks for hanging out with it. I figured it out and did all the things, watercolored and gel printed and put it all together. I know it's quite the long marathon here this morning. I appreciate you guys being here. I really, hi Deputy Heidi. I really appreciate y'all's time. I know how precious it is. Like, it's so hard for me to slow down and get to watch someone's entire stream. And that puts another layer of gratitude in my heart because I know how hard it is for me to do that. And the fact that y'all do that to spend time with me, I'm just so honored, so incredibly honored. I love you guys to pieces. Thank you to all those who have served. We will pray for those who are gone and their families. And I will see you guys back here, hopefully, on Thursday. Have a super blessed day. Have a fun day. Thanks, Linda. Yeah, y'all. Oh, thank you. Thank you, everybody. Much love to you all. Have a super awesome day. Bye.